Yo, what is up, boyos? My name is Invested, and welcome back to another Spider-Man Miles Morales video. Today's video is going to be about some of my predictions about what's going to be happening in the game, in terms of like story and also in terms of like villains and settings and stuff like that. Obviously, we have no idea what's going to be happening in this game. We have no idea because they haven't revealed anything yet, but it's fun, once in a while to speculate here and there and probably give some of our predictions, about what's going to be happening. Sometimes it's fun to do that, and I felt like this would be a good time, especially since my last video was speculating whether or not this would be a spin-off or an actual sequel to the Spider-Man PS4 universe. It was confirmed not too long ago by Jason Schreier, who used to work at Kotaku. Spider-Man Miles Morales is not an expansion or enhancement or remaster. Despite a Sony's executive's comments this morning, a source tells Bloomberg News, nor is it Spider-Man 2. It is a brand new standalone game similar in scope to Uncharted Lost Legacy. And if you guys don't know, Uncharted Lost Legacy, it was the spin-off to Uncharted, to the main Uncharted franchise, Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I think that, and the crazy thing is that a lot of us know this, obviously. I'm just letting the people know who don't know or whatever, who are still wondering and don't have Twitter or don't follow the news too much about these video games in general. This will be a spin-off game. And to be honest, I kind of wanted it to be a spin-off game more than a sequel, so that actually makes me a lot more happier. Like I said in my other video, if this was a straight up sequel, then I would not be mad about that. But I'm even more happy now that it's actually a spin-off, and it made sense, because the game comes out late this year, which you have to wonder, like, how the hell did that happen so fast? It has to be some sort of DLC or whatever, but no, it's actually going to be its own game, but it's going to be a smaller game, of course, because Uncharted was very small compared to, like, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, right? So in comparison to Spider-Man PS4, I believe this one's going to be a lot shorter, you know what I'm saying? Just because of that, because it is a standalone game, which, to be honest, I have no problem with that. We're going to be able to, like, get Miles for a bit, we're going to be able to see what he's like, see what his powers are like, and seeing his first steps into becoming Spider-Man, or a Spider-Man. So but yeah, before we do jump into this though, if you are new, don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be making Spider-Man Miles Morales videos, trying to keep you guys with the latest updates. Sometimes I might be late to some of them just because I've been doing a lot of stuff here on the personal side of things, but I'm trying my best to try to keep up to date with everything about this game so I can give you guys the latest information on what's going on. And unfortunately, I didn't get to give you guys this news automatically, that Spider-Man Miles Morales is going to be a standalone game. I was doing some stuff, so I apologize, but I thought, instead of doing that and instead of rehashing what has already been said, I feel like I should, give some of my predictions about what I think is going to be happening in that game. And yeah, I think we should just get this started, boyos, and I hope you guys enjoy some of these predictions. Also, if you do have any predictions yourself, don't forget to comment them in the comments below. I read every single one of your comments, so it'd be fun to have you guys, like, theorizing with me as the video goes on. But yeah, here we go. So one of the first categories that I do want to talk about is the gameplay itself. Now, of course, like I've said at the beginning of this video, we have no idea what this gameplay is going to look like. We have no idea what this game truly looks like in-game. We kind of have sort of an idea, right, because of Spider-Man PS4, but we do not know anything. And once we do get gameplay, I'm sure that I'm going to be right there reacting with you guys, and I'm going to be watching it and enjoying it as much as I did when I first saw the gameplay for Spider-Man PS4, because that game has amazing gameplay. And to be honest, I think this game isn't going to be too different compared to Spider-Man PS4 in terms of, like, some of the mechanics, in terms of swinging, in terms of the way Miles runs and whatnot. I don't think it's going to be too different. But I feel like there is going to be a difference in combat, obviously. They're going to throw their own Miles Morales style in there. Miles Morales is going to have his own spice, to spice things up. I feel like, he's going to have different combat moves, right? And especially with his unique power set of his camouflage ability and his shock ability, there's going to be a lot more things than just gadgets that we're going to be able to do in comparison to Peter, to Spider-Man, right? So I think his gameplay is going to be very, very unique. I cannot wait to see, but I don't think it's going to be too different. Also, I think they might change the HUD a bit. I don't know. I mean, that's my prediction. I was thinking about it today. Like, maybe they might not have the bluish HUD that Peter had. Maybe they might have like a reddish, colorish HUD, right? Just to represent, the black and red suit, right, for Miles. I think that would be pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, in terms of gameplay, there's nothing much else I can say because it's so close. I mean, 2 years sounds like a lot, but it's not too it's not too much, right? That's, in terms of development. So I'm pretty sure that, they haven't really touched too much, but they are gonna like have different animations, maybe even different swinging animations. If Miles does have a similar skill tree to Peter, we might even get like, I guess, trick animations whenever you like buy the skill that allows you to do tricks in the middle of the air when you're swinging, right? Maybe they might throw some different ones in there. We're just gonna have to see. But I mean, in terms of gameplay, I think those are some of the things that we're gonna be getting. If it turns out being totally different than Spider-Man PS4, then holy crap, I am all for it, right? Different is good. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes different can be really good, and sometimes different can be very refreshing. We're just going to have to see. And yeah, I guess that's it for the gameplay mechanics. Secondly, I think this game, in terms, again, because the game does come out this year and it took 2 years for them to develop it, to be honest, I think we're probably going to still be in Manhattan. If not, we might just be in Brooklyn or both, because obviously you guys know that Miles is from Brooklyn and that's where he grew up and that was where he was born, right? But the Spider-Man PS4 took place in Manhattan, and that's where Miles was at as well, and that's where his family lived at, right? Maybe after his father's death, they decide after a while to move back to Brooklyn, and maybe that's where Miles kind of gains control of his own terrain, since Peter's is Manhattan and Queens, and then Miles can stay in Brooklyn. Or maybe, like I said, we might get both. Obviously, I don't mind having both. I don't mind having one or the other. I think Brooklyn is a little smaller than Manhattan. Obviously it is, but like for the game, in terms of like how the open world for the game will feel, it will be way smaller in comparison if they just stick to Brooklyn. So my prediction is that we might get both. We honestly might get both, like here and there. Maybe, maybe his uncle Aaron Davis, the Prowler, maybe lives in Brooklyn, and well, that's kind of my next prediction, but I'll hold that off. Maybe, we might be going over there just to deal with some of his things, and, I don't know. We're going to have to see. There's a lot to hope for. There's a lot to desire when it comes to the gameplay, when it comes to the setting of the game, when it comes to the open world, when we don't know anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm pretty sure we're going to get some news very, very soon, since the game does come out at the end of the year, but we're just going to have to wait and see. But that's honestly my prediction about the setting and when and where the game is going to take place. When, we're just going to have to see. I'm not too sure. I mean, the game could take place probably a year or maybe 2 years after, the DLC events of Spider-Man PS4, which was The City That Never Sleeps, right? Maybe it might take 2 years after that, maybe a year, maybe a couple months. I don't know. We're just going to have to see. Moving on, though, the villains. Now, this is very, very fun for me to speculate on, especially since there can be so many possibilities. We could be getting quite a few villains here, and it's very fun to speculate in terms of what characters will show up and what characters will not. I think it's safe to say, honestly, since, we got the tease at the end of the main story for Spider-Man PS4 that Harry Osborn might end up being Venom because Norman Osborn is using it on Harry since Harry is sick in order for him to heal Harry, right? And then obviously Norman Osborn might become the Green Goblin because maybe he's been experimenting with the Goblin Serum himself as well. You know what I'm saying? So we already kind of have an idea of what villains might show up in the actual sequel for Spider-Man, which is Spider-Man 2. So I will hold off on those And I will actually say that it's probably a safe bet to predict that we might be going up against Miles Morales' uncle, Aaron Davis, as the Prowler. Now, why do I say that? Well, his dad passed away, right? Miles' dad passed away, which is obviously Aaron Davis' brother, sorry, I can't speak. And, you know, maybe the guy goes crazy. Maybe the guy just loses it after, you know, losing his brother. You know, maybe the loss of his brother hurt him very badly. You know, he wanted to go after Fisk and Martin Lee, but he didn't have time. He didn't get the time, or he didn't, you know, get to do it in time because Spider-Man had already taken them down. So he just stays with that grudge, and, you know, he just becomes this man, you know, bent on revenge and bent on hatred. And he just, you know, for some reason, you know, I don't know how they're going to take the story, but, you know, he just ends up becoming the Prowler, you know, and the way he ends up becoming, the way he ends up getting this technology, my opinion would also be that we would also probably run into Wilson Fisk. And I know what you guys are going to say. Well, that guy's locked up, right? He's in the raft. Well, the raft was, you know, people broke out of the raft in the main story for Spider-Man PS4, right? We had all the main 6 villains, right, that Doc Ock had helped break out of the raft, but nobody said anything about Fisk. Nothing was said about Fisk. At least I don't know. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments, but I don't remember them mentioning Fisk, because Fisk was going to the raft, right? But then the raft broke loose and hell broke loose, and then a lot of villains had escaped. So I don't know if they said anything about Wilson Fisk, about Kingpin, so maybe he escaped as well, right? And maybe the way for Aaron Davis to become Prowler and to get all of his technology for his suit and for, you know, the thugs and everything, he might be asking Wilson Fisk for help. That's if he escaped. I don't know. That's my prediction. That is my prediction, and if it comes true, that's gonna be fucking awesome, because that means we're gonna be able to, it's gonna be kind of like a callback to the Into the Spider-Verse movie, you know, whenever, you know, the main villain was Wilson Fisk, right? He was trying to open a portal to different dimensions, right, which caused the whole rift, and, you know, the other Spider-Man come into Miles' world, yada yada yada. But the point is that Wilson Fisk was the main villain, and Prowler was working under Wilson Fisk. So it kind of would make sense if they were kind of to do the same thing here, right? Without the whole dimensions and shit like that, right? But he would humble himself in front of Fisk to where Fisk saw potential in him and actually started giving him all of this power, right? In order for him to, you know, not feel alone, because Fisk is, as bad of a bad guy he is, he can be sympathetic, you know. That's the whole charm behind Wilson Fisk, right? But honestly, we're just gonna have to see, to be honest. But my prediction is that we might be getting Aaron Davis, the Prowler, as our next villain. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, especially for a short game. I have no idea why Peter isn't going to be in this game, but if he is, he might be helping us at the end. You know, if we do end up fighting Wilson Fisk, and maybe the Prowler's kind of like the underling, kind of like Martin Lee was the underling to Doc Ock. We're just going to have to see, boyos. But I am truly excited. I am truly excited for this game. Those were some of my predictions about what's going to be happening in the game. Of course, most of the main story we're not going to know until they kind of release details here and there, maybe a story trailer here and there, and we'll kind of get an idea of what the story is really going to be about. But honestly, I'm gonna put my money on the Prowler, man. I mean, those thugs in the trailer literally have purple colored weapons, and they're like purple energy weapons. I do not know, but what it is, but it's color purple, and the Prowler is purple, and yeah, I think it just makes sense, right? But I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. These were some of my predictions. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts here and there. I felt like I needed to just let it out, right? I felt like I just needed to let you guys know what I thought about this game. I'm super excited for this game, boyos. I'm super excited, and I cannot wait to play this game. I cannot wait to have my hands on this game. You guys better know that I'm definitely going to be getting a PS5 for this shit, because this is a game I did not expect and that I did not know that I wanted, because Miles Morales is such a great character. He is such an amazing Spider-Man, no pun intended. and I think that it's going to be perfect. I think this game is going to be really, really, really good, and let's hope it's really, really good. I mean, I don't think it's going to be super better than the first one, right, in terms of story, but man, it's going to be fucking fantastic, and the team at Insomniac have put something together like just so amazing. And I can't wait, man, until we get our hands on it, until we get more information. And you guys better know that I'm going to be, you know, making videos about all the information we're going to be getting about this game. So stay tuned, boyos. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Click the bell icon so whenever I do upload a video or when I do go live, you guys can be there right on the spot. So yeah, I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my predictions. Once again, don't forget to comment in the comments below. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.